Yes, this program that your ministry is currently embarking on, you say the program is creating pathways out of poverty, but people are asking, where really is the evidence that beneficiaries are actually exiting poverty? Is there something to show for it or to measure?
So the Household Prosperity and Empowerment Cash Transfer is a program of the federal government, which is targeting 15 million beneficiaries.
Indeed.
Currently, we have reached over 9 million households. And this is from the National Social Register. About 15 million is the target, and so far over 9 million. This is reaching beneficiaries. On Friday, I was in Akwa Ibom State.
Yeah, I saw that report on TVC News.
Where I interacted directly with beneficiaries. So the program delivers 75,000 in 3 tranches of 25,000 each. 75,000 might not sound big money to many who are well off, but to the poor and the vulnerable household, it means a lot. And we had a lot of testimonies as to how the 75,000 received by these beneficiaries changed their lives. Yes, about poverty exit. Our plan for the future is to ensure that beyond the cash transfers, which is meant to stabilize household, probably from things like shocks, beyond that is to ensure that beneficiaries are tracked through a poverty exit pathway, which is one of the anchors of my flagship program, the One Humanitarian and One Poverty Response System.
But people are asking, can Nigeria realistically cash transfer its way out of poverty? Yes, 75,000 might mean a lot for people below the poverty line. But how realistic is it? Because they're still in the same system, the same economy. There are still issues of unemployment, epileptic power supply, inflation, and all of that. So how are you helping them? How are they coping with these? And that's why people are asking, is this realistic or how sustainable?
Yes, what we are looking at is since I took over, I've been reform-minded.
Indeed.
And I came up with this one humanitarian, one poverty response system, which is a program that, the desire is to unify. It is to deliver humanitarian intervention proactively in a unified way, such that there's a coordination, and this is able to link directly to poverty exit pathway. So the 75,000 naira that is being delivered or given to the current beneficiaries is not meant as a one-off to get people out of poverty. And that is the reason for my new program, where you offer humanitarian assistance, in this case, by offering cash transfers to stabilize the struggling families. And then you deliver through a tested framework and intervention that helps them. So once you stabilize these families, you're now looking at reskilling them. And after the reskilling, you are looking at delivering to these individuals, vulnerable individuals, you are looking at providing them with something that will help them so that they can bring their skill into practice by way of business or what have you, while providing them with coaching and mentoring, helping them to access finance. And you track them until they get to a point where their businesses are thriving. And then you move them to what we call the growth register, where you monitor them. And if any shocks was to come in the system that brings them back, you offer similar support to get them out of poverty quickly. So the whole program is packaged in a way that vulnerable household will be supported and we are able to measure impact.
Well, I would like to know more about, that skilling and reskilling program, and also the process, how you help them identify what works for them, because not all of them would have skills. Some have skills that would need to be reskilled and brushed up, but not all of them would have skills. What's the process like? How do you help them identify what works for them, and how do you also carry them through that part of entrepreneurship?
So you have a very clear entry point. So people largely some will have been doing businesses. Some could have just been that they are in a situation whereby they do not have anything at all, or probably they don't have any skill. So you do a need-based assessment. It's important because when you're building a program or designing a program for someone, you need to also understand what the needs of that individual is, and based on the identified needs, you're able to design a program that helps them. And that is why I took time to go onto the field. As I mentioned earlier, I was in Akwa Ibom. Tomorrow, I will be in Ondo State, meeting with beneficiaries to say, okay, we have given you support through cash transfers. How has this helped you? And what can we do to help you so we can, give you a solution that is durable, a solution that is sustainable, something that takes you from receiving the fish to actually doing the fishing yourself. So interacting with beneficiaries provide us with feedback that help us not only to design future programs, but also to help understand how we can better help them so they can be self-independent.
Well,